Jeff Bezos and Amazon destroyed Seattle, where I grew up. That he convinced the city of Seattle and the state of Washington to give him full tax breaks to basically bulldoze all of Seattle. Capitol Hill, Belltown, Pioneer Square, downtown. Almost all of it was torn down to.
Actually, most of Amazon's development was in the South Lake Union and Denny Triangle areas that had been pretty industrial and underutilized for decades. And so Amazon wasn't really kicking anybody out by building offices or incentivizing housing to be built there. Belltown had some leases, maybe some renovations by Amazon, but Capitol Hill and Pioneer Square were like mostly untouched.
During COVID, they figured out they could make just as much money having remote work as the norm. So all these office buildings became vacant. Landlords wouldn't stop building these apartment buildings. The cost of living has remained the same, and the rent costs since pre-pandemic times. The real estate blocks won't budge, and Amazon has almost pulled out of the city entirely. So what we have.
Office vacancy downtown is 25%, which isn't great, but not really all that different from a bunch of cities that don't have Amazon in them. And this is really a result more of COVID and the remote work hangover than it is anything Amazon did specifically. I don't really think that Amazon chose to do remote work out of, some narrow focus on profits, so much as there was a global pandemic happening that kind of incentivized everybody to do remote work. I'm not even sure it would have been possible not to do remote work during that time. Amazon is actually leading the tech industry in return to office now. You can like that or you can not like that. It's kind of a complicated issue, but those are the facts.
That he convinced the city of Seattle and the state of Washington to give him full tax breaks.
Actually, Amazon received very little state-level tax incentives. Seattle itself raised business taxes during Amazon's rise. Today, Amazon is one of the biggest taxpayers into Seattle's Jump Start program.
Now is the highest homelessness rate in history, yet almost every Amazon apartment building and office is totally vacant, almost abandoned for sale on the market. Nobody wants to buy.
Amazon accelerated demand, but something like 75% of Seattle's residential land is still single-family only. Seattle added people 2 times faster than it added homes. That zoning bottleneck, not one company, is really what drove prices sky high.
That's why San Francisco.
So why did they pull out of Seattle and San Francisco?
Because they figured out they can make so much more money not having to maintain these office buildings, and they can have remote work and Zoom be the norm. Because
Seattle still has 50,000 Amazon employees, even more in the Seattle area as a whole, and there's still millions of square feet of office that is actively being used. Also, side note, I have no idea what an Amazon apartment building is.
Every Amazon apartment building, and
as far as I know, Amazon itself doesn't build, own, or lease any residential buildings in the Seattle area. One thing that Amazon has done is spent $3.6 billion in subsidizing affordable housing through low-rate loans and grants to developers to build affordable housing, with over 8,600 units built so far. Seattle's challenge is managing prosperity. Compare Detroit, population down 65% since the 50s. Cities that beg for Amazon's HQ2 understand one truth, that rapid growth is better than no growth. Amazon isn't some kind of perfect company that's beyond criticism, but I think that the picture that Andrew Callaghan painted here was just not that accurate.
I keep it 55th straight.